What a fine record that is. That's a band that is new to me, but the people aren't. It's a band called the Salt Flats, and that's an old Sandy Denny song called the Salt Flats, and called Sail Away to the Sea. And it features 4 Northern Ireland artists, mainly Cara Cowan. I notice her voice very prominent there, and another girl called Katie Richardson, and Mark Gordon and Ewan Gordon. There we are. That's the Salt Flats. They're new to me. That's a new album, and that's excellent. Good morning. Everyone okay in there? Hello?
Yes.
Everyone okay? I have a confession to make.
What?
Yesterday was a black day for me. I did something that I never did before in my life, and I don't know what to make of it. It's changed me completely.
Yes.
I watched the golf.
Oh, good man. Good man.
I did, and became caught up in it.
Yes.
I never thought it would happen to me. It's like, do you know, sometimes you say to yourself, if you're a teetotaler there, and maybe perhaps your parents are alcoholics, and you know, deep in your heart, that if you take a drink, it's all over for you. And you say to yourself, I better not take one, because I know if I take a drink, I want another, and another, and another. I knew when I sat down to watch that yesterday, because I'm a big fan of Rory McIlroy. I think he's a very nice guy. And I've heard him being interviewed, and I've talked to him, and I think he's a really nice guy. So I said, I wonder how he can do this? And I watched it. I got caught up in it.
Yeah, you do get caught up.
I get caught up in it. I hope it doesn't happen again.
I hope it does.
No. But you see, there's a reason for it. I'm afraid that I might start watching, the fellas that you don't like.
Yeah, well, I was watching it, and Graham McDowell, who's also a very nice guy.
Oh, yes,
absolutely. Graham McDowell was interviewed on American TV, and he was on for, I would say, it lasted about a minute and a half.
The guts of a minute.
A minute and a half, I would say.
Yeah.
And in that time, he used the word phenomenal 7 times.
Well, at least he didn't use the word situation.
No, phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
His swing was phenomenal. It's a phenomenal thing that he's doing. Everything was phenomenal.
No, but see, he'd been watching Ivan Little.
Phenomenal.
What do you call Ivan Little? Is that Big Ivan?
Big Ivan, phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
He can't say that.
No.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'll try that again. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
But the Americans have really taken to Rory.
It's a situation
Really
that I think we should look into. This situation. See, most people from Northern Ireland just keep saying situation. Oh, listen, by the way, thank you for sitting in for me whilst I was away doing the Lord's work. You seem to have done okay.
Why?
I don't have the usual mound of complaints.
Oh, they'll appear.
No, I don't. They don't seem to be.
They'll appear, and you'll read them.
No, there's only one. I think it's the golf has thrown them. One person, Stephen, says, I think you should have taken a few more days off. It's going to be golf now all the way until Thursday. Well, it will be. It will become sickening. But I have to say, congratulations to Rory McIlroy. It's a wonderful thing for this country, especially after Graham McDowell did the same thing last year.
For both
it's like 2 consecutive years being won by 2 golfers from like Sri Lanka. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You just wouldn't think of it. Isn't it fantastic?
Yep.
See, maybe
I hear you talking about golf. I can't believe
it.
Oh,
maybe becoming an ordinary person. I'll be going to the pubs next and saying, put on the match, boys. Anyway, there are unhappy people out there who we have to cater to. This is why we're here. Do you know this is why we're here, to cater to people who are unhappy with the country and with everything. People like you, in a way. Yeah, but you see, you're unhappy about many things, but if you were a listener, you would never ring me because you wouldn't identify with me. You'd think that I was a wee shite.
No,
you
I told you before.
That I was a wee shite?
No, I told you before when I used to listen to you.
You didn't.
I did.
Did you really?
And I remember, I told you the story before.
Did I inspire you?
One time, I was watching you during the snooker, the World Snooker Championship.
Yes.
And I watched the snooker with the sound down, listening to you. And whenever you played music, I turned you down and turned the TV up. And so I had to time it to make sure when you were finished. So I didn't like your music then, but I enjoyed the things that you had to say.
Well, thank you. That's a surprising compliment from a man. Thank you very much indeed. No, but I never believed you. I always assume you're lying.
No.
But that's good. See, people disaffected come to me because they sense that I'm their champion. And
I need to talk to you. I need help.
Oh, well, now's the time.
No, when in your absence, I spoke to a man. And I mean, I'm not speaking ill of this man or trying to...
Go ahead, speak ill of people. I do it all the time. It's great.
I spoke to him already this morning. John from Belfast to do this. And John's a mod.
A mod?
Yeah.
I thought they were all dead.
No.
He's still a mod.
There's 50
Has he got
of
a
them.
scooter?
There's at least 50 of them in Belfast.
Has he got a scooter?
Yes, and They want to come up here.
No, don't. Tell
Yes.
them no.
There's 25 of them, at least 25 of them want to arrive up in the car park in Radio Foyle.
Tell them no.
And they want to take me and you for a run on the scooters.
No. Discourage them in some way.
But he's on the phone already this morning and he wants to. End of July.
End of July, what date?
I don't know.
Well, find a date and I'll be away. Because I need to go away soon. Are you talking about a man who will bring all his friends
At
up?
least 25 scooters.
Can you imagine the roar of those scooters outside?
They're going to do something for charity.
That's all right, boy. You just go ahead and leave us alone.
Why didn't they raise money for you?
Do you think they would?
There's an idea. I just thought about that there now.
Oh, that would be great.
Wouldn't it? Will we tell them to come up?
Tell them to come up, surely. Need all the money I can get. No, you see this Rory McIlroy thing. You see, it's great now, the man's right. By the time Thursday comes, we'll be fed up with it. For instance, the Corrigan brothers have got into the act already. Do you know who the Corrigan brothers are?
No, pray tell.
The Irish band who brought you. There's no one as Irish as Barack Obama. Oh. You remember heard that?
All right.
Well, you see, Barack Obama made the big mistake of mentioning them in his speech in Dublin, therefore encouraged them to write more. And they've got a song, Rory McIlroy, US Open Champion song, words and music by the Corrigan brothers. Do you want to hear the words?
Have you not got the CD?
No, just the words are important. You couldn't listen to it. It's magic, historic, oh, it's a joy. US Open champion Rory McIlroy. It's magic, historic, oh, it's a joy. US Open champion Rory McIlroy. That's the chorus. Forget the Masters, it's all in the past, and Congressional Rory gave it a blast. And all of his fans have been wishing and hoping to see the great Rory win this great Open. From Hollywood in the county of Down, he gave it his all for the Open crown, a record 2 rounds of 131. 3 cheers for Rory, he got the job done. This Irish golf legend, he's a wonder boy. He drives a golf ball with the greatest of ease from fairway. He can't be.
That's awful.
You can't have that about you.
No.
Here's a man who wants to talk about bull semen. You weren't ready for that, were you?
I was not.
Welcome back, Nip and Tuck. Sean has some big shoes to fill, but alas, he hasn't. You see, that's the first complaint.
Yeah.
I've just been to the Irish website, Dundee, looking for the price of bull semen. Apparently, do you know it's €120 a shot? Did you know that? Did you know that?
No.
I wonder, are all the medical experiments forcing your increasingly prolonged absences from the wireless attempting to put you in this bracket? Eugenics aside, I was after a push bike, and the nearest one was in Monaghan. A man had to go to Monaghan to get a push bike. Contact seller, it said, on the internet. I'd imagine it would be a Podrig or an Oisin or some other Gaelic name we prods can't pronounce. But I was in luck. The man's name was Vladimir. A sight of our whatever it is. Alas, his bike wasn't up to scratch, but his bootleg vodka was. Another unhappy guy. It's been a while since I last emailed your show, but I'm at my lowest point in my life so far, which takes some doing. Let me tell you the reason why. I won't give you this man's name because he's asked not to be identified. Since I turned 18, I was always first on the dance floor, setting it alight with my moves that would rival Michael Jackson, Anton de Beek. You know the fella with the nose. Hence, Anton de Beek. That's the guy from Strictly Come Dancing, the fella's hateful. They all are, but he's particularly hateful, more than the rest. My friends say that I was that good I should audition for Britain's Got Talent. I did. However, at the auditions for the audition show, they said I was the worst dancer they'd ever seen and I must be doing it for a bet. My friends seem to have misleading me thus far. To cheer me up, I got a haircut like Roger Federer. But it has been met with laughter, disdain and ridicule from friend, family and strangers alike. What can I do? If you can't advise me, at least get Sean to do his Ivan Little impression. Well, you've done that already.
There you are, isn't that amazing?
You see, you just came out with that right away,
yeah.
before the man wanted it.
Yeah.
If you had to get a haircut like somebody, who would you get a haircut like? Would you get a haircut like Rory McIlroy?
No, I would get a haircut like President Kennedy.
Tony Curtis? Remember that old joke?
Yes.
Remember that old Tommy Kelly joke?
Yes.
I think we should tell it.
I think you
again.
should tell it.
No, we have to identify the people involved in it because...
But everybody knows.
No,
Tony
they don't.
Curtis.
They don't.
Of course
They don't.
Oh, Tony Curtis only died last year.
What age was he?
He was 87. But he's...
Yeah, right.
But what? But he only died last year. And he was doing the circuit. He was doing all the chat shows.
I had guaranteed stop any man, 27 years old, 30, 31, 32 in the street, ask him who Tony Curtis is. He'll have no idea.
Right, I'll ask Emma.
Okay, ask her.
Emma, who's Tony Curtis? An actor?
No, she's bluffing.
No, she knows.
Well, what was? Ask Emma. What was he famous for originally?
What do you mean originally?
Originally.
Before he was an actor?
No, when he first became an actor, what was his trademark? What was he known for? And what?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, but not many people would know. No, she won't know that.
Well, it's important to know this if I tell this joke.
Yes, that's...
Ask her.
No.
Ask her, I said.
I see where you're going, and you're right. Without us arguing, I see now where you're going. I thought you meant that people wouldn't know Tony Curtis, full stop.
Ask her, does she know who Yul Brynner is?
She an actor. And do you know anything? What
sticks out about him, if I may use that expression?
Emma says his bald head.
Right. And Tony Curtis was known as the wearer of what it was called a Tony Curtis.
He had a hairstyle as well.
If you're into the barbers and said a Tony Curtis, he'd give you a hairstyle like which was a duck's arse and a little pompadour in the front.
No. He was a square back.
All right, a square back. What was that called?
He wasn't a DA.
It was called a Boston. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
A square back was called a Boston. A square cut along the back and a bit of a pompadour, right?
DA was the Teddy Boys.
Duck's arse, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Before that. And after that was the Tony Curtis. So it's important. So Tommy Kell used to tell this joke about the fellow who goes into the barber and he sits down and the barber says, "What can I do for you?" He said, "I'd like a Tony Curtis, please." The barber says, "All right, Dan, okay. Just settle down there. I'll be back in a minute." So the fellow sits there and he kind of falls asleep and he wakes up and he says, and he finds he's totally bald. He says, "What did you do to my hair? I asked you for a Tony Curtis." And the barber said, "Wasn't that the fellow was in The King and I?" I still like that.
Yeah.
Who was Yul Brynner?
There you are now.
Dear.
Telling jokes. Telling me back, you're telling jokes.
All right. You see me telling jokes, listening to golf. See, that's what happens when I go on holidays. My whole personality changed. But I didn't go on holidays. I slipped out there, didn't it?
Why do you not want people to know you're on holiday?
Because
Why? What's this? You know?
Because when I go on holidays, I don't do the same things as other people do.
But you were on holiday.
No, I wasn't. I
You
was
were?
No, I wasn't.
You were on.
I took holidays, right?
Yes.
I took holiday vacation time. But when you take holiday vacation time, you go in Spain and drink like a fish.
I do not.
Oh, you do?
I do not.
Well, you go to Portugal and drink like a fish.
No, wherever I go, I don't.
You do?
I walk.
You walk and then you drink like a fish.
You ask Noel Thompson.
Do you go on holidays with him?
No, but I've talked to Noel.
Do you talk to Noel?
Yeah. I've talked to Noel.
Did you talk to Noel?
Yeah, I
And
talked
what do you
I
talk to him
Noel.
about?
I talked to Noel about walking. Noel
Do
gives,
you really?
Noel gives me advice.
About how to walk?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen your legs.
And what footwear
What
to
footwear?
wear. Yes,
You talk to Noel about what footwear to wear when you're tramping the moorns?
Yes, Noel got me a wonderful pair of walking boots.
I didn't know you had this kind of communion with Noel
yes.
Thompson.
Oh, yes.
See, you kept that very quiet.
Noel took me to a shop.
He did not.
Yes. I was very kind of him. He arranged to meet me. And
He took you to a shop?
Yes.
Well, where you bought hiking boots?
Or I bought, yes.
Walking
not
boots?
a hiking, but I bought a boot recommended by Noel.
And he stood there?
He stood there. And he says, that's you now. That's what he
And
said.
did he wait until you fitted it on and everything?
And he asked me to walk up and down the shop floor, and I walked up and down the shop floor. He said, "How do you feel?" And I said, "I feel great." I read it.
I wonder would Donna Traynor do that to me.
Oh, I don't
Would she bring me to a shop?
Oh, well.
Put my shoes on, ask me to walk up and down. How do you feel, Gerry? I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. Anyway.
So,
good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Gerry Anderson Show. We're going to start it now. Oh, that's a bad wee cough. Oh, listen. Consumption. Jane Austen. You've been reading the Brontes again. Now, listen. Oh, dear.
you hear that?
Now, I have to say that. Do you remember?
When you were away, I had a terrible head cold.
I know, but you had that cough before I went away.
I know.
And a long time before that. Have you had someone look at your chest recently?
No.
Well, you should. Get Noel Thompson to do it. Right. The number to ring if you want to contact. The program's starting now. Let's get serious. Good morning. This is the Gerry Anderson Show. I'll be here until 12 o'clock, until such time as we're here, or until such time as they decide to pull the plug.
There, Emma's coughing now.
I hear that, but that's only like a little badger cough. Yours is consumptive.
There's a wee call for you.
Yours is... You hear that?
Aye.
I would hate a cough like that. I coughed like that when I was smoking. Are you smoking again?
No.
There's a call, you say?
Yes.
The number to ring if you want to contact this programme, or indeed come on this programme, 08459 555 678. The email address for those of you... And remember, there's one thing important about the email address, and I've never stressed this before, and I was thinking about this when I was working for Jesus. I was thinking sometimes people, hesitate to come to communicate with me because they feel as if the emails are seen by other people. But let me just say this to you. No. Emails sent to me are only seen by me,
That's correct.
by my eyes only. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid to give me your personal details. I'm the only one who sees them emails. I'm the only one who sees them. Now, the text messages are seen by everyone. And what do you call those other things that we have? Phone calls, but everybody listens into those. The emails are very private. So you can send me an email if you want. Gerry, no matter what it is, don't be afraid. Gerry.Anderson@bbc.
It could be rude.
What? And the text messages aren't?
Yeah.
They couldn't be any more rude than the text messages. Sometimes even I am shocked by what I see in those text messages. And sometimes I wonder, what kind of people are these? And it's great fun, but it's great crack. The number to ring is 08459 555 678. Email address, private, gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. Text messaging service, filthy and public, 81771.
I've abandoned my mobile phone.
Have you?
Yes.
It's mine.
No, that's
the one you wouldn't pay for.
That's long gone. That one, I have another
That was
one.
350 quid and you never appreciated
You
it.
never paid a juice for it.
That's not the point. It was worth 350 quid and I gave it to you and you never
Sit
even said thanks.
I was sitting here in a jiffy bag.
It was do you know what it was? Do you know what it was?
No, go on.
Why did I get that? Eh? Why did I get that? It was a wonderful state-of-the-art mobile phone worth 350 quid.
It's in my house. You can have it back.
Well, bring it back then.
No one could work it.
That's because you never read the instructions. That was a little perk from a very well-known international organisation whom I did a little work for, and they sent that to me as a little present, and I tried to sell it to you and you wouldn't buy it. And then I give it to you and you never even said thanks. I'm never giving you nothing again, as long as I live. The number to ring is 08459 555 678. Email address gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And the text messaging service is 81771. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
All right, thanks. Yeah.
Sorry I had to keep you so long. What can I do for you today?
I have a request put out to try and find an insulin pump which has gone missing.
Oh, I got an email about this. Are you Charlotte?
I am.
Charlotte, I have an email about that. I was going to just ring you and I was going to read this out, but I'm glad you came on. So tell me the story.
Well, I was in town on Saturday.
Belfast?
In Belfast.
Yeah.
And my little girl, who's 1.5, has type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
And she wears an insulin pump, which could be mistaken for a mobile phone.
Uh-huh.
Because it basically it's a little thing in a black leather pouch that she'd wear on her waist.
All right.
So it's either been nicked or it fell off and then somebody picked it up. Anyway, it's gone. And it's a very expensive piece of kit, and it's it's potentially life-saving as well. I mean, we're using a backup now, insulin pens, but we'd very much like to get this pump back.
Okay. And it looks like a mobile phone, you say?
Yeah, it could be mistaken. I mean, once you open the pouch, then you wouldn't really know what you're looking at. It's just a little kind of electronic device with a screen on it, but it would also have a tube coming out of it, which attaches to her.
And it's no use to anyone who doesn't
No
have
use to anyone at all. And to be honest, it was probably even locked, so you wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't even be able to sort of find out what it was, because I think I usually lock the screen so that she can't play around with it.
All right then. So if anyone has got that and it's, you mean locked in the sense that you can't actually activate it?
Yeah, like you'd lock your phone,
I see
lock
what you
the
mean,
keypad, because otherwise she could accidentally give herself a dose.
Oh, okay, right. All right then. So anyone who's got that and doesn't know what it is, don't be fiddling about with it because it's no good to you.
No, it's absolutely no good to you, and it would be a whole load of good for us.
Of
so
course.
it doesn't matter how you came across it. If you find it or you've got it, just hand it in to someone. That would be brilliant.
And I don't want to say, that wouldn't be a cheap article.
It's not a cheap article.
Okay.
I mean, we do have it insured, but there are an awful lot of people on a waiting list, and we're fortunate enough to have got it on the NHS.
And even though the thing is valuable, a person who's walking along the street and lifts it and says to themselves, "Oh, this might be valuable," it's going to be very difficult for them to find someone to sell it to.
They wouldn't be able to sell it because
Not at all.
No, it's no use to anyone except those who need it.
Okay, well, as long as you've got a backup anyway, and you're insured, so you're covered, but you would like it back anyway.
We would, because it's a real waste as well. There's the number of people who want this kind of thing, and the NHS hasn't got money to throw around.
Oh, you can say that again. All right, then. So, have you any idea where you might have lost it? Were you in maybe Victoria Square, somewhere like that?
Well, St George's Market,
yeah.
Victoria Square, and probably up Royal Avenue.
All right, then.
And those kind of areas on Saturday lunchtime.
Okay, central Belfast.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone who picked that up and maybe, said, what is this? And maybe stuck it in their bag or pocket or said, that's a mobile phone. No, it's not a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody left it in somewhere. Have you tried the usual outlets? Have you tried the police, that kind of thing?
I've reported it to the police, so they'll have it on the system if anyone wants to drop it in.
All right, anyone who's got that, by all means, it's not a crime to lift something, not know what it is, and put it in your pocket. That's not a crime. So give us a ring if you've got that. There'll be we'll just say thank you very much and pick it up or whatever.
That would be no questions.
Absolutely not. Don't be silly. Because that's what happens. There'll be nothing like that. Because, anybody. As a matter of fact, you know what happened to me the other day? Yeah. I was sitting in my car in Belfast, looking for the traffic warden.
Yeah.
Waiting to see the back of him before I ran out. And I heard this clink. And I looked around me, and there was a watch on the ground. Mm-hmm. And obviously, I heard it clinking. So obviously, it fell off somebody's wrist, a woman's watch. I looked around, there was a lot of women, And I lifted it, and I put it in the wee kind of glove compartment in my car. It's still there.
You were sitting in a car,
Uh-huh.
and you heard a watch falling off a woman's wrist.
No, the window was open.
And you still heard this watch falling off a woman's wrist. And you didn't shout, when you heard the noise, you said, excuse me, love, you dropped your watch.
No, but there was loads of women walking about.
Well, excuse me, all of you girls who have just walked past my car, stop. Who owns this watch?
I want one of you. Come on. One of you get into the car right away. No, you don't do that.
What
you don't do that. By the time I figured it out, and looked and I said, hold on a second, that's a watch now. So not fun. By the time I'd figured it out, and nobody, I was expecting somebody to come and lift it.
You heard the clink of a watch hitting the ground.
Yeah. I looked over.
Above all the babble and of Belfast.
The babble of Belfast?
Yes.
Are you sure you don't mean the rabble?
No.
The babble of Belfast?
Yeah, the babble.
The babble?
Yeah.
All right, then. There was babbling going on, all right.
Yeah.
But you can hear a metallic clink if something falls off the wrist.
Not a watch.
Have you a watch on you?
No.
Throw it on the ground.
You wouldn't hear a watch falling from a lady's wrist and hit the ground.
Charlotte, are you listening to this?
Still am.
Are you listening to this? This is what I have to go through.
But
I'm saying I still have that in my car.
You saw the watch lying there, and you waited for the area to clear, and then you went out and lifted it.
Yeah,
that's more like it.
Yeah, I thought it might have been valuable, but it's not all that valuable. But I've still got it, But it may be valuable to someone.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I don't regard myself as a criminal for still having it.
Why don't you give it to the peelers the next time you're in Belfast? Leave it in the peeler shop.
The peeler shop?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the PSNI?
Yeah, leave it
We'll
in.
call them that, please.
Leave it in. Leave it.
All right. I'm going to have to turn him off, Charlotte, because, so just reiterate there, because, sorry, I went away on something horrible and different.
Just no questions asked. Anything that looks like, you don't know what it is, and you thought it was a mobile phone, and it's not, then just give
all right,
it in.
then. Okay, the number 3. I hope we get that for you.
Thank you very much.
08459 555 678. That's our number. Thank you very much, Charlotte.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Sweet Minerva, sweet Minerva, sweet Minerva, sweet Minerva, sweet Minerva waits for me.
This is another track from the Salt Flats. Cara Conan's voice is very distinctive there.
on 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
BBC News at 11 o'clock. I'm Anne-Marie Foster. Rory McIlroy has become the youngest golfer to win the US Open for more than 80 years. The 22-year-old from Hollywood led from the first round to the last at the Congressional course near Washington and ended the tournament a record 16 under par, 8 shots clear of his nearest rival. Rory's former headmaster at Sullivan Upper School in Hollywood, John Stevenson, said everyone there was delighted.
He was a great guy at school. I mean, we all knew that Rory was a prodigious golf talent. His father, Gerry, and I had a great relationship. And right the way through school, he was playing golf at a very high level. So it was no great surprise when Rory became a professional golfer. That was always his career intention.
3 men from Northern Ireland have been arrested near Drogheda as part of a Garda investigation into dissident Republican activity. They were detained after a lorry containing alcohol was stopped on the M1 Belfast to Dublin Road. A second trailer containing alcohol was also seized. 3 other men were arrested in a follow-up operation in Delvin in County Westmeath. The main Belfast to Dublin rail line has been reopened after a train struck an abandoned car. It happened near a level crossing outside the village of Mike in South Armagh this morning. Our reporter Mervyn Jess reports from the scene.
The car, which is believed to have been stolen, was driven onto the railway tracks and abandoned near the village of Mike on the South Armagh border. Just after 6 o'clock this morning, an Irish rail commuter train on its way from Dundalk to Newry struck the vehicle. There was heavy fog on the line at the time, and the train driver only saw the car at the last minute. The train wasn't carrying passengers at the time. The driver and conductor on board were unhurt. Damage to the train was minimal. This morning's cross-border rail services have been disrupted, but there's relief that this incident didn't cause injury or loss of life.
Sports news now. Here's Denise Watson.
Rory McIlroy won't arrive home until Wednesday at the earliest as he fulfills some corporate engagements. He's now 4th in the world golf rankings after his superb success at the US Open. McIlroy secured his first major with an 8-shot victory at Congressional. Gaelic football and Derry are into the Ulster Championship final for the first time in 11 years after an impressive 3-14 to 1-11 win over Armagh and Clones. Wimbledon gets underway today with the men's defending champion Rafael Nadal opening up proceedings on centre court against American Michael Russell. Andy Murray meets Daniel Himino Traver. Irishman Conor Nyland will take on Adrian Manarino from France. Finally, cricket play is just getting underway on the last day of the third and final test, Sri Lanka resuming their second innings on 112 for 3.
And the weather forecast, here's Jackie McCann.
It's a sunny start to the day with just the odd isolated shower. In the sunshine, temperatures should readily climb to 17 Celsius. However, showers will become more frequent after lunch and the clouds thicken with more persistent rain spreading up from the south, although it should be at least mid-afternoon before the rain arrives into Fermanagh, Armagh and Down, and then it will work its way northwards, so it's going to be a wet end to the day.
BBC News. BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
As you've heard in our news, the vehicle on the railway line between Newry and Dundalk has been removed and the line has been reopened. Onto roadworks, and in Lisburn there is a lane closure on Thiepval Road from Longstone Street to Brookfield Avenue from 9:30 until 4 o'clock each day until the 6th of July. And at the George Best Belfast City Airport, the 5 to 11 flight from Edinburgh has been delayed until 12 o'clock. Aileen Morneal reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster. On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, go Rory, just 22 and he's one of the world's top sports people. We'll be asking, what's in a name? What about the Rory brand? And could he bring the Open back to these shores? All that and your Rory stories. Were you up half the night? Think taking up golf now? Have you had a Rory cupcake yet? They're selling them in Hollywood. And are stories of that humdinger bet true? All that's to come on Talkback. Also on the programme, has the Irish government let down the Magdalene sisters? And how much is your car costing you? So much, you might even take the bus? You can tell me and join the debate on Talkback at 12.
Thank you, Randy. That's Talk Back coming up at 12 o'clock, a full programme by the sound of it. Now, I played a track before the news there. It was from that band called Salt Flats featuring Carl Cowan, Katie Richardson, Mark Gordon, Evan Gordon. Very, very good. I didn't tell you the name of the track. It was called Minerva. Do you know one of the things I discovered during the course when I was doing the work for Jesus?
Sorry.
Was it half cough and a half laugh?
I've
never heard you doing that before. Could you do that again?
No.
Half cough, half laugh. Let me try. Can I do that? I'll try it again.
Go on. What?
I discovered one thing. I was checking into this hotel, right?
Yes.
Very swanky hotel.
Of course.
And there were 3 people in line in front of me. 3 different couples.
So you sit in line, you see that's the American, and I would have sit in the queue in front of me.
But you don't know where I was.
No.
There was 3 people in line in front of me. And the 3 of them were English couples. And the 3 of them were complaining about their rooms.
Right. What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that. But I learned there's one word that you never use when you're complaining about your room. Anyway, I'll tell you about that after. The upshot of it all was, I finally came up and the guy behind the counter and I said, I'm almost afraid to check in here. He said, why is that? I said, because all these people are complaining. He said, these English. So I got this room, lovely. Anyway, one thing, and do you know what the fella said? One of the English guys, he said, I'm not happy with this room. I'm furious.
Oh, furious. Yeah.
I'm furious. And there's a Spanish guy. He went, Emma? I said, I'm furious. I'm furious. He had no idea what furious meant. So if you're on holidays and you're angry, never say you're furious. It was in Mexico, Spanish-American, Hispanic.
That's a great nothing story.
I specialise in those. I have a whole lot more. I'm just saying, never say furious.
Why not?
Because nobody in Spain or anywhere else knows what it means. Do you ever say the word furious?
I would never dream of saying
That's what I'm saying. I'm furious.
Broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stage, you know they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise. Got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back. Junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far. Cause a man with the touch can possess my car. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep it going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep it going under. Standing on the front stoop, hanging out the window, watching all the cars go by, roaring as the breezes blow. A crazy lady living in a bag, eating out a garbage pail, used to be a fag hag, such a dance to tango, skipped the life and dango, a zircon princess seemed to lost her senses. Down at the peep show, watching all the creeps, so she could tell her stories to the girls back home. She went to the city and got so diddy, she had to get a push, she couldn't make it on her own. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep them going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep them going under. My brother's doing fast on my mother's TV. Says she watches too much, it's just not healthy. All my children in the daytime, Dallas at night. Can't even see the game or the Sugar Ray fight. The bill collectors, they ring my phone and scare my wife when I'm not home. Got a bum education, double digits, inflation. Can't take the train to the job, there's a strike at the station. Neon King Kong standing on my back, can't stop to turn around. Broke my sacroiliac, a mid-range migraine, cancer, membrane. Sometimes I think I'm going insane, I swear I might hijack a plane. Don't push me, call, I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep it going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep it going under. A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. God is smiling on you, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you'll go through. You'll grow in the ghetto, living second rate, and your eyes will sing a song of deep hate. The places you play and where you stay looks like one great big alleyway. You'll admire all the number book takers, thugs, pimps, and pushers, and the big money makers. Driving big cars, spending 20s and 10s, and you wanna grow up to be just like them. Smugglers, scramblers, burglars, gamblers, pickpocket peddlers, even panhandlers. You say I'm cool, I'm no fool, but then you wind up dropping out of high school. Now you're unemployed, all non-void, walking around like the pretty boy Floyd. Turn stick-up kid, but look what you done did. Got sent up for an 8-year bid. Now your manhood is took and you're a make tag. Spend the next 2 years as an undercover fag, being used in the field to serve like hell. So one day you was found hung dead in a cell. It was plain to see that your life was lost. You was cold and your body swung back and forth, but now your eyes under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire, I can hear you through the wine. Wichita lineman, well, he's still on the line. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. If it snows, that stretch down south won't ever stand the strain. No. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman, well, he's still on the line. You for all time. And the Wichita lineman, he's still on the line. Still on the line.
That's James Taylor, of course. That's a new single. Who recorded that? Glenn Campbell. That was it.
Yeah.
Wichita
I didn't
Lineman.
like that. Neither did Emma.
I thought it was a song about Derry. There's a line in it, I can see you through the wine.
Ha ha. You're very funny.
Cooking today.
Yeah.
And the track before that was called... I can't find it. It's called The Message, of course, by Grandmaster Flash. It was a bit of a mashup, which involved an in-excess backing track. Chris Evans played one of your mashups the other week. There you are, you see. Gerry, oh, you were right, Sean.
What?
They're starting to come in now. Complaints about you.
Yeah.
I told you I wouldn't read any. Gerry, that Sean Coyle was rubbish last week. He played all kinds of rubbish that he wanted to hear, not us, the listeners. Great job, guys. As the Earl Boy would say, keep it lit till we get out. Be sure to read this out. He was crap. Hope having a go. You see, I remember this. Hope you have a go at the Radio Foil golf expert, Sean Coyle. After last year's bitter disappointment at the US Masters in this year, Mr. Coyle was heard to say, in a caustic, dismissive tone, Rory McIlroy, he can't putt.
Yes.
I heard you say that.
Yeah, yes. And can I just say this then? Can I
Mhm.
just say this? Rory McIlroy spent the entire year getting golf lessons. They were highlighting it last night on television. He has got a new way of putting now, and he keeps his hand straight, different from with the normal way of putting, and a full year working on it. His putting has improved. I was right.
Thank goodness.
Na 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 na.
Thank goodness you're back. Now I can safely switch on at 10:30 a.m. There should be a nationwide alert system when this happy event happens. Something like sounding the sirens during the Second World War when the air raids were over. Or maybe the welcome peal of church bells throughout the land. Nothing against Sean. Seems like a nice man. Just that his show is crap. I hope you don't mind me reading these out, Sean.
Not at all, no.
Lady was said
It seems to annoy you reading them out.
I don't like reading them out.
No, I can see.
No, I don't like reading them out. As a matter of fact, there are a lot more that I want
there
that I could read out more. I was expecting a different ending to that joke. When the barber makes a mess of the haircut, the man's supposed to shout, Tony Curtis doesn't have his haircut like that. The barber replies, he does when he comes in here.
No, your end's better.
Mine is better.
Yeah.
Speaking of old jokes, did you hear what Elton John sang at Ronnie Barker's funeral?
Well, let's guess now. Ronnie Barker's funeral.
You should be able to work on that.
I know. I'm trying to an Elton John song.
Think Princess Diana.
Candle in the Wind.
Ronnie Barker.
Ronnie Barker. Candle.
4 candles in the wind.
4 candles.
4 candles in the wind. 4 candles. 4 candles. 4 candles.
That's not funny.
It is funny.
No.
4 candles in the wind. What's not funny about it?
It's called Candle in the Wind.
I know.
Well, where's he get the fork? Fork candle? How's he?
The Ronnie Barker sketch.
It doesn't. No, it's not. To me, it doesn't.
4 candles.
No.
He goes in and look for four candles. The fella gives him 4 candles. And he gives him 4 candles.
I
Handles for a
know,
fork.
I know.
4 candles in the wind. If you don't sense of humour,
I don't think that's funny.
I think it's funny. I'll leave it to the listeners to decide.
Yeah.
We better not. Please play a song by Geraldine Devine on a CD made by local children called Drop In Feeny World. Well, I have that here, as a matter of fact. Look, there it is. I wonder what that's like. I haven't played it yet. By Geraldine Devine. What's her name? I'll play that. Yeah, I'm going to play that. I'll just stick it on now.
You have a call.
Have I? Mm-hmm. Geraldine Devine, she sings Lovely Derry on the banks of the Foyle. And they call it Lovely Derry on the banks. This is a big weekend for the city. I repeat, this is a big weekend for this city.
There's a call on one.
Have you any idea what that might be? A big weekend for the city. That's what I'm going to play. We're going to open the Peace Bridge at the weekend.
Yeah.
Does that mean nothing to you?
No.
You see, let me just explain to the people who aren't from Derry.
It's like a bridge.
No, but you see, it's more than a bridge, Sean, and this is where you go wrong. I'm going to explain to the listeners now. I'm going to make a bit of a to-do about it.
It doesn't matter a jot to anyone else in Northern Ireland.
It does not matter a jot to anyone else in Ireland, but I want to explain to them.
On a bridge on Saturday afternoon.
You see, you have no imagination. You have no feel for the future. Let me just explain. Derry/Londonderry, as we call it here, is a very divided city and always has been. But unlike... always has been. Always has been.
I don't think it's divided.
You don't think it's divided?
No,
well, let me just say a word to Troubles, start of the Troubles.
It's not as bad as what it was. It's not as bad.
It's still divided.
It's nowhere near as bad.
Still divided. The people still don't mingle. The people still don't mingle.
No, some people don't.
Oh, I do. I mingle away.
I never said you.
I know, but you implied some people.
I did not imply you.
Let me just say this. Derry/Londonderry has had its troubles in the past. It is a divided community. Belfast is a divided community. Protestants and Catholics are divided. But Belfast is different geographically because it's all little pockets, kind of ghettos and areas, Protestant areas. So they're all splattered all around the place, which is why there's 84 peace walls still standing. Did you know that?
No.
And some of them getting higher. So things aren't great, okay? Even though people are talking up peace, it's grand to talk it up, but it's not over yet. There's stuff going on still. But Derry/Londonderry was different. By an accident of nature and by circumstances, we are divided by a big river. And this is a big river. So the people on one side...
We weren't always divided with a big river.
The river was always there.
And the river's always there. We weren't always divided.
But always on the one side of the river, there were more people of the Protestant religion on
Not necessarily.
There were always were.
No.
When you argue with everything I say.
No.
But it became serious in the
Yes,
70s because
yes,
it
yes.
got to the
It
stage
became-
where
yes, yes.
practically no Protestants were
Yes,
living on the
yes,
West Bank,
yes, yes.
and so the river. Do you agree
Yeah,
that the
from
river
70s,
then divided us?
From the 70s, it came. It was very.
It was divided before, but it wasn't
No,
really. It wasn't as divided.
No.
Why do you argue with me?
It wasn't as.
Emma!
It wasn't as. You're right. It wasn't as.
That's what I said the
It
first
wasn't
time.
as divided.
It wasn't as divided, but
No.
then it became completely divided.
It wasn't a major issue.
I'm gonna
70 years
I'm going
ago.
to turn you off. Right.
That's all. That's all you.
It's not all me. I'm explaining why you don't think the bridge is important. So
Yes, I do.
It's a peace bridge. It's spanning the river. It's a pedestrian bridge, and it's more of a symbol. And people, this is going to be the first step towards the end of all that. See, nowhere else has done this in Northern Ireland.
We've two other bridges.
No, but they're not many other pedestrian bridges do we have. It's a pedestrian bridge, son. It's a people bridge. A people bridge. I know it's all very easy to go over a bridge in a big armoured car or a lorry or a
Many
pig.
times have you walked over Craigavon Bridge?
Many times.
That's my point.
The first time I ever got drunk was on the waterside, and I bought a pound of apples and I threw them at people who were and then I was sick in the telephone box at the end of it. Yeah. So you don't talk to me about having no experience about Craigavon. Were you ever sick in the telephone box at the end of Craigavon Bridge? No. Yeah, you can talk. But all I'm saying is that at the weekend, it's going to be the first time, nobody's ever done this in Northern Ireland before, made a tangible, and it's a beautiful bridge as well. And it's opening at the weekend. It's the beginning of a new age, which of course you'll take no part of because you're rooted in the past. But I, of course, being a forward-thinking person and a child of the universe,
But you
can
see, my past of Derry is when we weren't divided.
We were always divided.
No, not in my eyes.
Not in your eyes. That's because you didn't see it.
I didn't.
Because
no.
you were too busy making fire
didn't-
guards in Birmingham.
Yes, I didn't recognise the divide.
Anyway, it's a big weekend, and we're going to feature various things. We're going to have people in towards the end of the week and singing a bit of a song and that kind of thing. Yeah, I can see you're looking forward to it. You see, this is the laugh of the deranged, the laugh of the ignorant. Welcome back. I must confess, I listened to Sean whilst you were away. I couldn't get Planet Rock. Anyway, I learned a few things like the fact that Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons sang The Night. Did you tell the people that?
Eh?
Did you tell the people that Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons sang The Night?
I think I may have played that.
This morning
yes.
on Lorraine Kelly, they showed an amazing photograph of a couple lying on the ground kissing in the middle of a riot somewhere in Canada. That was the hockey riots. They should have golf riots. Shouldn't they, all you guys?
No, you, us. You should say us.
All you people.
No, all us.
All the
'Cause
men in pink
you're
trousers
part
out
of it now. You're part
turning
of the golf.
cars over.
No, you're part of the golf.
No,
scene. Yes, you are. Yes,
no, I only
you are.
watched it as a patriot.
Yeah, but the guys in Canada were off their head.
They were discussing how this came to be that there was a photograph of a couple lying on the ground kissing in the middle of a riot somewhere in Canada. Whether it was set up, blah, blah, blah. 10 minutes earlier, on Daybreak, the same couple had been interviewed and revealed that it happened by accident, that the girl had been knocked over in the riot and the boyfriend was just comforting her. I think some communication between Daybreak and Lorraine Kelly is called for. Christine Blakely waited until I went away before she announced her engagement. She knew how deeply it would hurt me. She made a deliberate decision. She wouldn't announce it whilst I was on the air because she knew that I would probably break down. She's gone away and done it. I came back yesterday and I found out the news and I realised that she's gone forever. But she wanted me. She did, Sean. You know that. Speaking of TV, the other night Frank Skinner was giving Lee Mack advice about chat shows. Frank said, never talk to your guests before the interview. He's right, you know. Remember I used to do that? Always a mistake. I made that mistake once with Ringo Starr, Frank Skinner said. Do you know what Ringo said to him when he was talking to him before the interview? If you don't mind, I'd rather not talk about the Beatles. Frank Skinner said he spent the next 20 minutes talking about Thomas the Tank Engine. He's never said to guys, what?
I just saying it's a call.
Don't be so jumpy.
I'm not jumpy.
It's because you don't like the bridge.
It's nothing to do with that.
He's like, there's no need for it.
I do.
Because we were never divided.
Excuse me.
Hello, good morning. Where's the call? Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Oh, yes, sorry about that. I couldn't find you on the desk.
You never tried.
I didn't try at all. No, you're absolutely right. I found you now, though. I hope it's not too late.
Right. Do you know who it is even you're calling?
I have no idea.
Well, it's Perla and Nyla Butte.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Hello,
Nobody tells me
I'm
anything.
Well, but I'm worried about you. Do you sleep at night with all that drivel that's in your brain?
There's plenty of drivel in my brain, but it's organised, and sometimes it comes out in an orderly fashion.
Oh, God, was that orderly? Right, okay. Nice to hear you back all the same.
Good, thank you.
And I hope you enjoyed your break.
I did indeed, yes.
The weather wasn't good here, wherever you were.
There's a lot of people...
Pardon?
There's a lot of people who are feeling better about themselves because of what I did
I can
during the
hardly
break.
hear you at times. Your volume's very, very low in this phone, and I can't turn mine up any higher.
There's nothing can be done about it. It's a common complaint. I'll try and speak a little louder. Okay, go ahead.
I suffer from tinnitus, you see. I do, honestly. I've had it for 20-odd years. Anyhow, last week, a week today, I phoned Sean, the man I rely on to get everything done. And I had told him about a great wee concert in our bowling club a week past Saturday night with Kieran Goss.
Yes. And the Isle of Bute?
And the Isle of Bute. And the Isle of Bute, there was only about maybe 60 to 70 folk, that's all it was told.
Kieran will be glad that you've told us that.
And it was great. He was glad because he was out walking. No, I'd got one of his albums from your show when Sean told me I would get it from the guy in Belfast, McCormick.
That's right.
McCormick.
That's right.
So I took it in, and his wife was here. She's a lovely girl.
She's lovely, yes.
She is lovely. She was singing with him too.
Good.
And they'd done nearly a lot of the islands all down the west coast, just small audiences.
But that's good, yeah, because, Kieran likes doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, Lewis, Oban. I imagine that my daughter got the tickets. My bowling days are long by me. I'm crippled with arthritis.
Yeah.
But anyway, she got the tickets because it's a group of the school teachers locally who were over in Belfast at one of his concerts and follow him around when they can. And this one approached him, never thinking that he would come to the Butte, the size of Butte.
Yeah. Okay, well, there you are, you see. Well, why wouldn't he? It's okay.
Of course he wouldn't, but there's not many places. There was another concert on that night. It was somebody doing a tribute thing, a Neil Diamond, the copy thing.
Yes.
So that was at the Pavilion. So, it was a case of wondering whether to get tickets. So when my daughter mentioned to me she wouldn't be out on a Saturday night, as she lives a bit away from me, that she's going to a Kieran Goss concert, I said, for God's sake, how's Kieran Goss coming to Butte? And she says she'd been at Ballyshannon for a few years, in succession, and my granddaughter as well, who works for BBC, by the way.
Yes, so we invited him over.
And so, well, they didn't invite, but some of the school teachers, and they came over, and it was a great wee night.
Oh, he would love that. He'd love to go.
It.
Yeah, I bet you he loved it.
But I think my daughter got a bit of a shock. She hadn't seen him for about 20 years, from Ballyshannon days, or the old hippie days.
He's half the size as he was then.
He's half the size, but apparently long hair.
I'd like to see that.
He's totally bald now, but anyway, when I spoke to him, and he came over and spent quite a bit of time with us, there was just a table with four at it, and very, very cosy and nice. I used to play bowls in that wee clubhouse in the green at one time. But anyhow, he was a lovely wee chap.
He's a lovely wee chap.
He really was, and I told him that he wondered how, living here, did I get it on the internet and Amazon, this double album. So he signed it for me, and then in the interval he came over and put another album down in front of me, of his live shows, as a present.
Yeah, and you told me you got it of Bert McCormick. You'd been quite surprised.
Yes, it was lovely.
Well,
and he introduced me to his wife. And
I believe Take That are coming next week.
Pardon?
Take That are coming next week, aren't they?
Gerry, there's something else I wanted. I know you're a lover of dogs.
Yes, I am.
I don't want to keep you, because I want to get my washing out as well.
Indeed.
Anyhow, my son, who works at the diving academy, travels over the country every day in life.
Yes.
And is a training manager at the diving academy over on the other side of the water. So, but he's got a wee Irish Wheaten Terrier.
Yes.
And there are not many of them apparently these days.
No.
He was going to emigrate to Canada 2 or 3 years ago, him and the family. They had all the papers and everything. And but anyway, I don't know, I hope it wasn't for me that he decided to stay. But anyway, he decided after all, and they settled again in Ireland. They're both born and bred in Ireland, him and his wife.
Yes.
And they bought went away down to the border somewhere and got this wee Wheaten Terrier. I don't know why. She's called Orla.
Yes. And
it's such a job when she comes out to me, getting her home, to chase her all round the garden, round the furniture and everything, because she doesn't want to go home.
No,
and I give her chicken and whatnot.
Happy.
And she had 7 puppies just over a week ago.
My God. They're lovely. Those wee things are lovely.
Oh, God. And in 7 for her first pups, too. And the squeals and the howls, and I'm saying that she got enough milk, so they took her into the vet and everything.
Yourself. Here, listen, we have to go now.
Yeah, I'll let you go. I've been waiting a long while on you now. I've things to do.
All right, darling, get your washing
all
out.
the best.
Okay.
And, here.
What?
Are you still there? The reason I come on, Sean promised me 3 times during the week he would play Kieran Goss, Why Should I Be Lonely?
I lied to
and
you.
he told me it would be played on Monday for me. Today.
Okay. Right.
You ask him.
I'll ask him.
Right.
I'll ask him. All right,
Okay.
then.
Bye.
Thank you. You should never lie to that woman like that.
I didn't lie.
You lied to her.
No, I thought you would have played it today.
You know that I won't do anything. Gerry, would you please thank Sean for playing Shaky Stevens' This Old House last week, given that Sean and Shaky had a bit of a history? Do you have a history with Shaky?
Yeah.
What's the history?
I told us.
What was that
No,
history?
I've already told it.
No, you
I'll tell you privately.
No, tell me now.
No, I've told it publicly. I told it on your programme last week.
Did you?
Robin's on too for you.
You never told me about it.
No.
What?
No, it's nothing. It's nothing.
What happened between you and Shaky?
Robin's on too.
You see, you won't tell me now.
Oh.
Tell us where you went on holiday. It would make us feel closer to you in the show. We're all one big family of listeners, after all. Sheep's Head, you see. Gerry, would you mind announcing that I have 2 Neil Diamond tickets for sale at face value for Saturday night, the 25th of June. What's that, this Saturday? In Dublin. Unfortunately, I've slipped discs in my back and I'm immobilised and won't be able to make it. You're lucky. Also, if any listener has a cure for serious back pain, I'd be glad to hear it. Even Geordie might have it. No, don't, please. They'll have you pouring Jay's fluid on it and then they'll have to take your hide off. Gerry, glad to have you back. Sean played Grumpy Van Morrison's I'll Tell Me Ma. Did you play I'll Tell Me Ma?
Yeah, someone requested it.
And there's part of that sash in it.
Yeah.
You would never offend us like that.
You see. Oh, you enjoyed that, did you?
I offend people in other ways.
You know?
Gerry, just got the new... Gerry Anderson, please play some decent music. It's very depressing what you're playing today. Gerry, these are text messages, by the way. Gerry, I've got the most wonderful Father's Day present. My daughter bought me an Undertones greatest hit.
Stop. You're making fun of them.
I'm not making fun of the Undertones.
So.
He's in there.
Well, stop.
It's another few quid for him.
Yeah.
Gerry, I was watching MTV at the weekend and I saw Fergal Sharkey and I think he looks very like you. I have never been able to figure that one out. It's really annoying me.
I can't see the similarity.
Neither can I.
At all.
That's the
Does
whole
the
point.
Undertones see it? No. Yes,
Never
Undertones.
said anything, no.
No, Undertones.
I can see him. He's
not
nodding his head.
So if
He says
Undertones,
yes.
that's good enough for me.
Well,
I can't see it.
Gerry, I heard you were in McGabbery. How did you enjoy your stay? No, I wasn't. Good morning, Gerry. Welcome back. Could you please play a wee song for Mickey Boyle and Ben I can't read that. And his wife Kathleen and Bon Moore from all their daughters and sons. Gerry, please play Joan Baez singing Bob Dylan's Forever Young. I couldn't play that. Oh, Gerry, I can't listen to Joan Baez. No. Whatever you. It's awful.
I can't. What about Robin?
Through my head like a buzzsaw. I had a really strange dream last night. I dreamt Gloria Gaynor was standing at the bottom of my bed. You know what's coming now, don't you? First I was afraid, then I was petrified. Good morning, gentlemen. Could you please ask the listeners why it's turned to autumn on the Ards Peninsula in June? Well, you see, this is our climate. It's variable. That's why people come here. Could you please play the new single by Relish, Something to Believe In, for Rory McIlroy? There we are. Sounds like a good idea. Is there someone on the line here?
Robin's on too.
Good morning, Robin.
Hello, what are you at?
Hello. Yes, Robin, how are you?
What's the crack, eh?
No crack with me. I have no crack.
Here, I have to pull you, but you owe me still a TV and a bottle of vodka.
For what reason, I wonder?
I rung you about a year ago. When you got your new book out.
Yes.
I put it on the floor and I was reading it, fell asleep, and it was on the floor.
Yes.
And I got out of bed during the night, and put my foot down, the book slipped, and I knocked my TV over, and my bottle of vodka on my bedside, and my 20 fags. And you promised me you'd send me a bottle of vodka and a portable TV.
Are you saying that you hold me responsible for a household accident which involved...
Well, it was your book, really, so...
Well, suppose it had been a Reader's Digest. Would you have contacted them? Would you?
No.
Nah, there you are, you see.
It's your book.
I'll see what I can do. There's a slush fund that we have for that purpose.
No, what?
I'll deep into it. I may not be able to offer you the amount you want,
Could you replace the book even?
I can't
Without
replace the
vodka?
book. I can't replace the book, no. As a matter of fact, I have a number of them in my garage.
What about the bottle of vodka?
No bottle of vodka, because bottle of vodka, I've noticed that vodka is bad for the person's constitution. Now go away and stop annoying me.
Are you off the drink now?
I have never been on the drink.
Here.
I am a person, I drink socially.
Oh, you drink so do I. On this morning. What about Faye? Shout hello to Faye.
What does he say?
Say hello.
Give a big shout to Faye.
To Faye. Say hello to Faye.
I thought he said, what about the figs?
yes.
So, hello, Faye.
Faye.
Right, go away now. Thank
Go
you.
away. Right,
Bye,
let me go.
bye,
I'm going over-
bye. Who is that?
That's Robin.
What do you put him on for?
I didn't put him on. Emma put him on.
What's wrong with Anna?
Anna?
What's her name? Anna? Hannah? Sandino's Music Hall will host some of the local finest songwriters on Thursday, the 30th of June, to celebrate the opening of the new Peace Bridge. Paul Casey and his band will be joined by Paddy Nash and Dan Greer and John Derry to perform what promises to be a night to remember by all music lovers. So I think we know what we should do. I think on Thursday morning here on this programme, because we have an outside broadcast on Friday, you know about that, don't you? The Open House Festival in McHugh's Bar. We'll be down there. Lots of nice, good music, excellent bands. But also on Thursday, as the Peace Bridge is opening at the weekend, I'm going to ask some people to come in and do a little... You seem bored at this. I'm going to ask some people to come in. You seem unimpressed by the idea. You don't care about your city, do you? What?
I'm just listening to you.
No, you're not. No, you're not listening.
Yes, you are.
No,
you're saying
you're...
things about me that aren't true. This is
slander.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. That's what I'm saying.
Here's another new band called Katie and the Carnival. They launched their album last Friday, I think. This is called Went to the Fair.
I went to the fair, I thought that you'd be there. Baby, you were nowhere to be seen. I thought that you cared, I thought it was your queen. Whoa. High and low, chasing demons as we go. Nothing strong to cling. I'm sorry I got scared. Thought it was your queen. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, boy, silence. Whoa. Away from here. Whoa. Our voices on these wasted tears. Do you love me now? 'Cause you don't know how to do what you do to me. Oh, help me save from the misery. Do you love me now? 'Cause you don't know how to do what you do to me. Oh, help me save from the misery. I tested and tried everything to make you cry, but you didn't shed a thing. I'm sorry I got scared, but I thought I'd lost my king. Whoa. In love do I trust, though with you, my dear, I must be prepared for anything. Well, I thought you might have cared if you thought you'd lost your queen. Whoa. Whoa. What you doing to me? Oh, help me, save me from my misery. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me?
That's Katie and the Carnival. That's their new album. That's a track called Went to the Fair, Northern Ireland band. Very good. Very different. Very unusual. Dear Mr. Anderson and Son, could you please elaborate slightly more on why there has been a problem beyond your control regarding the podcasts? Do you care to explain that, Sean? It's his fault in there.
The undertone.
But we don't want to blame him.
No.
He was away, you see.
Yeah.
We're too lazy to do them. We don't know how to do them because there's technology involved.
Yes, that's right.
We would do the podcast ourselves, but we don't know how to do it.
No one showed us. It's not our fault.
I live in Tokyo, Japan, Japan, and I'm unable to listen to your show live due to the time difference. So I can understand that. Your podcast shows give me great chuckles on the way to work, and I've missed them greatly over the past week or so. They'll be starting again today, and there'll be no more breaks. I hope the problem has now been fully resolved and I can get my fix of long yarns, complaining, and general Northern Ireland sniping. That's Brendan Daly of Tokyo, Japan, originally from... All right, now from Lisbon, but now Japan's our podcast. P.S. Geordie's a true hero and isn't on the podcast show nearly enough, a man requesting. Those podcasts, we've been very remiss in those podcasts, but the circumstance beyond our control, they'll be beginning again today. Could you please, it says here, give a shout out to me, Tracy Reid, and my friend Fionnuala McClenaghan. A few weeks back, Fionnuala's boyfriend's father wrote into your show about Jonathan, her boyfriend, and Neil McCracken, my boyfriend, moving out to Perth, Australia. What a great place to go. 2 months back, and I'm about to do the same on the 28th. What time of the year? You can't go. It's the winter in Australia, for God's sake. Of course, the winter in Australia is like the summer here.
It is not.
See, everything I say is a barb.
No, because do you remember you took me to Australia?
Yes.
In the winter.
That wasn't
really is the winter.
It was April.
It was horrible. Weather-wise, it was horrible.
We were wearing shorts.
Underneath our trousers.
Fionnuala is also flying out on the same day as me, but only for a holiday. We were both so excited. That's Fionnuala and Tracy Reid. Jonathan's father is an avid fan of your programmes, listens to the show without fail every day, so I'm sure he would be delighted, as we all would be, for another mention. So that's
the one thing I'll never forgive you for.
What?
I'll never forgive you for that. I'm sure the undertone will be the same too as well. Why did you do that? Can you please answer me that, please?
Why did I do what?
Why did you take me in the undertone to the other side of the world, to beautiful sunny Australia in the winter?
Because I had... Well,
why?
I can't tell you why, but I suppose I could tell you, with the benefit of hindsight, let me say this to you, that I have further visited Australia in the summer, and you would not have liked it.
We could have went when it was a wee bit warmer.
No, that's what I call heat.
Yeah, but what about a wee bit warmer? But imagine going there and having to wear overcoats.
What's the Mute Meadow?
I don't know.
Yeah, you see.
Is it?
No, you're serious. You don't know what the Mute Meadow is?
Seriously.
The Mute Meadow is the largest public art project on the island of Ireland. Do you know where it's going to be? Beside our new Peace Bridge.
That's good.
Located on the banks of the River Foyle, Mute Meadow will change Derry/Londonderry's skyline and reinforce its reputation as a thriving cultural destination. You never heard of it. Created by London-based artist Vong Flower Patata, who's a former Turner Prize nominee, 1993, and Claire Aubusier. The iconic artwork is part of the continuing social and cultural transformation of Derry/Londonderry, set to become the first UK city of culture in 2013. Do you know how much it cost, the Mute Meadow? £800,000, and you never heard of it. When completed in May 2012, it'll be accessible via the new bridge, but there's going to be a kind of a formal opening. There you are. You see, this is all stuff that you should be across. Sir David D. Beasy Dopey Micken Tooch. Just before I forget. No, I'm not. Right, here we go.
I have a cricket match arranged to celebrate the opening of the new bridge.
You told me the last time that we talked about this that the mayor had asked you to cross the bridge with him as the first two people. When is that happening? This weekend?
Yes.
What time at?
3 o'clock.
Well, you'll be singing this, won't you? You don't know what this is, do you?
Like soft and
You know what it is?
Tis a place of great fame, and it lies to the north. Now I'll tell you its name. Tis my own native birthplace, and it's all Irish soil, and they call to say o'er the phone. And now from dark strangers in grief I recoil, while I pine from dear old Derry on the banks of the Foyle. But a reaper came flying from over the sea, and he brought me a letter from my true love to see, saying, come home, my darling, to your native soil, and I'll wed you in lovely Derry on the banks of the Foyle. Now when I make a fortune, then to home I will go, to the land of my childhood, to the sweet man I know. We will build us a mansion, and no more need we toil, far away from lovely Derry on the banks of...
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, who is this?
Gerry?
Yes.
This is Frank.
Yes, good morning, Frank.
Gerry, I live in Belfast here.
Yes.
I'm an 82-year-old pensioner.
Yes.
And I lost my walking stick
Oh, dear.
down in the city.
Oh, dear.
And somebody must have found it.
Yeah.
And it's a folding up walking stick
Yeah.
with like a mahogany handle on it.
Uh-huh.
And I need it very badly because I'm crippled with arthritis.
Of course you do, yeah. And tell me, what do you think you might have left it? Leaving on a chair,
Well, I'll
a seat
tell
or
you what
something?
happened to me. I was going down at 9 o'clock in the morning. I was going for the kids to Dublin train.
Yes.
And I called into a home bakery to buy some bread for the boys in Dublin because they like the stuff that we make in Belfast. And I called in there. And then I had to get the bus at the side of the City Hall to take me over to Central Station.
Yes.
And while I was in the station, I really missed my umbrella. I missed my walking stick. And I went round everywhere and I couldn't find it nowhere.
Yes.
So when I come back, I went round all the places where I thought I'd lost it, but it couldn't be found.
Uh-huh.
And I needed it really badly. Somebody's got that walking stick, so they have.
All right, then. And okay, we'll urge anyone who's got that that your need is greater than theirs. And
I'm waiting to go into hospital for an operation in Musgrave Park Hospital.
all right, then. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll put the call out. That's all we can do, and ask the people if they've any kindness at all in their hearts, or maybe it's someone who found it, as I said before, maybe threw it in the back of the car or whatever. You know, give us a ring, 08459 555 678. If you don't get it back, we don't have much time here. Give us a wee ring tomorrow and remind us, and we'll do it again. Okay?
I tell you, Gerry, there's something else to say to you.
Go ahead.
I was going down the Falls Road last night to Clonard Monastery, and I seen a big poster up on the wall,
Yes.
and your photograph was on it.
Yes.
It was an American flag.
That's right, yes. I've joined the army. Uncle Sam needs me. No. I'm going to attempt to run the marathon on November the 6th, the New York Marathon for Action Cancer.
Well, I was going to. There's a big Naveen on in Clonard Monastery at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming in their thousands and thousands to it. And it's on from 7 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night.
The faithful are pilgrimaging, yes.
Yes, and it's really wonderful.
Okay, that's good.
So it's about time you decided to come down to it.
I think maybe perhaps I would. You see, but it's not kind of my style, to be honest with you. But I mean, there's no reason at all why not. It's a good thing, and but you may not see me there. I'll be too busy pounding the roads for the Lord.
But you must remember, Gerry, it's an honour of our Blessed Mother.
I understand that. Okay.
You know, and if you believe in her,
you can't go far wrong.
Gerry,
all right,
thank
then.
you very much.
Not at all.
Try and find that stick for me.
Okay, I will indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Bye. That was a close
Okay,
shave.
that's great news for him. I'll tell him that now. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Tell him what?
Tell Frank that you were talking to. There's a new walking stick on its way to him.
Serious?
Yes, a gentleman by the name of Harry, who works for Care and Assist. I give him Frank's phone number, and he's going to contact Frank, and he's going to deliver a brand new walking stick to him later on today.
For God's sake.
So there you are.
The
So
power-
that's thanks to Harry at Care and Assist.
The power of the radio.
There you are.
That's Miles Davis, of course. That's an album called Porgy and Bess. Everyone should buy that. If you get stressed, just have a listen to that. It's called It Ain't Necessarily So. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible ain't necessarily so. A gentleman writes to me and he says this. Sorry?
I'm speaking to Eddie there.
I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. One morning last week, I was enjoying my smoked haddock kedgeree. On the TV came BBC Northern Ireland weather, presented by the lovely Cecilia Daly. Both myself and the wife are big fans of Cecilia, and her outfits always raise a smile at 7:30 a.m. Anyway, Cecilia was wearing a short-sleeved blouse which revealed, and listen to this, a rather fetching tattoo on her right forearm. Good God, I thought.
Oh, no.
Tattooed women on the BBC. Isn't it marvellous? I was wondering which other BBC Northern Ireland celebrities have tattoos, body art, or indeed, I hesitate to mention this, intimate piercings. Perhaps you could ask Sean if Noel Thompson also likes the fairground worker look. Does Noel have any tattoos when you're out with him?
No, Noel and I are anti-tattoo.
Oh, yeah? Do you have any?
No, wouldn't dream of it.
Do you know anybody in the BBC who's got a tattoo?
I don't believe that about Cecilia.
You don't believe it?
No.
Well, let's check the next time.
Tattoo.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the tattoo. I know you don't approve of them.
No,
they originated in Tahiti. The men of the Bounty were the first white men, basically, to have tattoos. Did you know that?
I didn't. No.
Yes, indeed. No. Who really is man's best friend, urges Michelle? His wife or his dog? Try this. Lock both of them in the boot of the car, and when you open it an hour later, which one do you think will be happier to see you?
Do you know what I can't
You ruined that joke there. You came in on top of the punchline. You came in on top of the punchline of the joke. Anyway, go ahead. Too late now.
I'm sorry.
The moment's gone.
Yeah.
What? But you know how to say.
No, I have.
What?
It's about tattoos. And
What?
for the life of me.
Do you know anybody? The across the line guys, they'll all be tattooed.
No, I tell you what, for the life
Riggsy
of
and all those guys, they'll all
me.
be
Would you
tattooed.
mind explaining to me? Now, you're a man of the world.
I am indeed.
Now, you've been around the world in other places.
I've seen a few things. I've seen things that would make grown men cringe.
Would you
I've
tell-
seen things that would make men's hair stand up in their end. I've seen things that would make women blanch. I've seen things that make grown men faint. I've seen things that men shouldn't see, Sean.
I know that. That's why I'm asking you about this. Why do girls get tattoos on their back?
Do you know what they're called?
Why? But you can't see them.
No, do you know what they're called? You can see them.
Why they can't see them?
You can see them.
They can't see them.
And but
what another? Why?
Do you want me to explain it to you? Others can see them. Others who are in the vicinity.
But what's the point of it?
Do you know what they're called?
Tattoos.
No. You talking about the ones that come up on the
Yes. You know.
Do you know what they're called?
They have them on their hips and their hunches, or whatever you
especially
call it.
there's one that comes up at the base of your spine there.
What's the point of that?
I'll tell you after. Do you know what they're called?
No.
Arse antlers.
But they're so stupid.
Not to me, they're not.
They're ridiculous looking. Why get a tattoo then cover it up? What is the point of it?
What is wrong with you? Don't you understand?
I'm outlaw. If I ever become First Minister, I'm outlawing tattoo parlours.
Why don't you just whip people because you don't like the look of them and then kill everybody who wears a camel hair coat? Made me play... I was going to say Ray Davis.
Whatever happened to camel hair coats?
That's what I was just thinking when it came out of my mouth. The reason I said camel hair coat was I was reading a story the other day about a certain gentleman who had a camel hair coat, and everybody he met, he'd say, "Good evening, my so-and-so." They always said the same thing. "My God, look at your coat."
Yeah.
A camel hair coat is a very important thing.
Absolutely.
Listen, that's all we have time for today. I played Ray Davis again, thinking that it was Miles. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme about anything during the day. We won't be here. It's 08459 555 678. If you want to write to me, write to Gerry Anderson, care of BBC Radio 4, 8 Northland Road, Derry, Stoke, London, Derry.
Good to have you back, Gerry. It's 12 o'clock. This is Talk Back with Wendy Austin.